Alrighty, what's up, dudes? We are back again today with another topics video, and today the topics are Malefic Core upgrades for your Legendary Cloak, and Blizzard announcing that there will be no improvement, or no planned improvement, for upgrading the Cloak past rank 15. So a couple weeks back, they made it to where, Blizzard made it to where you only needed basically one Horrific Vision per Cloak upgrade, all the way up until rank 15. But then after rank 15, you still have to be able to grind through those Malefic Cores to be able to get 3 corruption resistance per week. The corruption resistance per week caps out at 125. I believe currently players are at 89 as of time of this recording of the video, which is approximately 3 months behind. About 40 corruption resistance, which is a pretty sizable amount of damage. I guess technically it would be 39 corruption resistance, but nevertheless, very far behind. Besides the point. Anyways, so yeah, they have announced that there is no immediate plans for improving the Malefic Core system post rank 15. And you can take a look at this tweet where it announces it. It says Blizzard has published a blog confirming the order of the corruption vendor rotation. That's like honestly whatever. We know the order. There are also no planned improvements for upgrading the cloak after rank 15 with Malefic Cores. This is a major problem. Let's take a read into what they said. Improving the Legendary Cape after analyzing hundreds of thousands of permutation on the most efficient path to power the Legendary Cape. Mother has shown Rathian how to make Torn Pages more potent so you can upgrade your cloak to rank 15 quicker. Now each rank up to rank 15 can be achieved in a single Horrific Vision. For example, upgrading your rank 13 cloak to rank 14 only requires 2 Torn Pages of the Final Truth that was previously 6. So if you currently basically this is the hotfix that it was achieved a few weeks back. The last little blurb about this that actually matters is the requirements for further minor upgrades to the cloak after rank 15 with Malefic Cores have not been changed. And this is a problem. So let's talk about why this is a problem. So say you want to play an alt, and say, man, mage is so overpowered right now, I really want to play a mage. So you boost a mage with your level 120 boost that you gain from the Shadowlands the Shadowlands pre-order, right? And you get your cloak, and then you grind your cloak to level 15. Say somehow, this is actually very hard to achieve, but say somehow you spend a lot of echoes on, and you gain a lot of echoes, and you spend a lot of your echoes on getting your cloak to level 15 this week. You can still only get 6 corruption resistance, and you will still be 3 months behind the average player base. So you're going to be behind for what is assumed like almost the remainder of the expansion. You're going to be behind in terms of cloak resistance until people hit 125 cloak resistance. And the reason for that is because you are continuously falling further and further behind every week that you don't create a character in perpetuity. So you're only gaining at a rate of 3 per week, like relative to the power of how other players are gaining. And honestly, they should just unrestrict players who have a rank 15 cloak to be able to catch all the way up to the front because of how far behind they are. So they added, as a part of the vendor to Mother with the Echoes of Ny'alotha, they added the ability to be able to buy a vessel so you can run Horrific Visions. This seems very strange to me, because that's only good to catch you up to 15, or that's only good for you to be able to farm sockets on your character. You're not even able to catch all the way back up in terms of cloak resistance. So what's the point in buying the vessel? It really puts off a lot of people who would otherwise want to play alts in an already very un-alt friendly expansion. There have been so many problems this expansion with how non-alt friendly the expansion's been. So essences not being account wide for such a long time was a major problem. Now the cloak, it was you had to be able to catch up to rank 15, which took forever. But shit, dude, this is even longer than catching up to rank 15. At least catching up to rank 15, that only took you 3 or 4 weeks. So whenever everybody was rank 14 cloak, it only took you 3 or 4 weeks to be able to catch up with everybody. Right now, it takes you 3 months. It just doesn't make any sense. And and ultimately this is like a fundamentally flawed decision on Blizzard's end, and they should really look at being able to fix this. This is just a huge problem, and I don't understand like what the point. I don't understand what the point of continuously gating the Malefic cores are. Like, okay, so say it was fixed, and say that you're always going to be 4 weeks behind the player curve for the cloak, and say you're always going to be 4 weeks behind until everybody hit 125. You know what? I could probably live with being 12 corruption resistance behind. But once you start reaching 40 corruption resistance, which is like that is a major corruption power that you cannot have equipped over other people. That is problematic, right? And it just puts off people's desire to level and play alts. Like, dude, you can pre-order Shadowlands and get a freshly boosted 120 character, and you will not be caught up in power to a player who's been playing the whole entire patch for 3.5 months at this point. Probably longer, almost 4 months. And at that point, Shadowlands should be released, right? Like, what is the point? Like, that's my problem, is like, what the fuck is the point? I don't know, man. It's just so annoying watching this decision be made in an already alt-unfriendly expansion, and it just continues to be a problem. And it's frustrating to see. And I really hope they look to backtrack on this and open it up to where you are able to continue to buy, like, every single horrific vision you do grants you 3, like a Malefic core to be able to put 3 corruption resistance on your cloak until you're caught all the way up. And the reason that hasn't been implemented yet is just beyond me. But that will be the end of this video. Check out my stuff down in the description. Check out my Twitch page. Check out everything else. Also, hope you guys are also a big fan of Titanforge podcast. Check that out on Saturdays as well. I will see you guys later. Peace out.